Mad Mad. It history fans were pissed off at them. And so then he went on this mission to try to regain the trust of these people, and that's what the documentary is about. You're listening to The Line on your AM radio dial.
Yeah, these guys are from Canada. Helix.
Really?
Yeah, I just found out.
It does sound like an AM radio, though.
Yeah, they didn't have it on Spotify for some reason. They got Helix, but not this this song. That Day Is Gonna Come, so I had to find it off of YouTube. It looks like a home video. They made their own video. It's like a home video.
I'm still working on finding information on this Pentagon deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing a whole lot other than the fire department's monitoring the hazardous materials incident and the Pentagon being locked down on it's locked down and several floors have been evacuated. So apparently that's around the incident, whatever it may be. And your first thought is, and this is something that we dealt with, in years past, post 9/11, was things like anthrax being mailed to government officials. And so that would be my first thought. It's not like someone is walking through the front door with ricin and, tossing it around like a little kid walking down the aisle of a wedding venue with rose petals or whatever. But we'll see. Well, I just got to kind of sit and wait on this. I mean, there's 23 to 27,000 Pentagon workers at the Pentagon on any given day, and so that's a lot of people that you have. I mean, the Pentagon is a very large building,
and it's Pentagon shaped.
And it's
5 sides,
and it's Pentagon shaped.
Yeah.
But I do, I don't even need to bring it up. As I sit here and look at the building, my first thought is, how did a plane happen to hit that so precisely, as low to the ground as that building is?
Yeah, that's right. It's a commercial jetliner.
Yeah. How did
it maintain?
How did some dirty, stinky Muslim who was living in a cave fly a plane so precisely into the side of that building?
Yeah, because if you remember watching the video, it was pretty low for a while.
Yeah. It looked more like a rocket to me, but whatever.
Here we go.
Here we go. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that road. But real quick, to wrap up on the David Arquette thing, because I think you and I need to watch this. I just got to figure out what the name of the documentary is. It was like The Life of David Arquette or something. So, to recap, Ready to Rumble movie comes out. He does a spot with WWE on their television shows. The storyline ends up resulting in him winning the heavyweight championship, which rubbed a lot of people.
This is regular wrestling.
This is regular wrestling. Okay. This is WCW. And it rubbed a lot of wrestlers in the locker room the wrong way, because they fight every day and have trained their entire lives to get to that spot. Yet here's somebody from the outside coming in, and the script writers end up writing him in to win that very prestigious title. But most importantly, the wrestling fans, which he was one of, were revolting against him. And all of a sudden, all online and even in public, people were basically spitting on David Arquette's name. He was public enemy number one in the wrestling world, and that tore him apart. That really damaged him, because he felt like he was one of them. He was essentially accosted from the wrestling fan universe. And I don't know if he just didn't expect that, or he didn't, think it through or whatever, but, that's what happened. So he went on this mission to start training and he's like, how can I prove to the wrestling world, the wrestling fans of the world, that I deserve to be in any part of wrestling whatsoever? So he starts training and getting ready, and he says, what is the most grueling match I could possibly do to show these people what I'm what I'm about, that I deserve
That's what I
this.
bet I remember, the part I remember.
And so he ends up booking a match with Nick Gage, who is one of the most brutal deathmatch wrestlers out there. And deathmatch wrestling is basically this just absurd style of wrestling where it's super bloody and gory, and they use fluorescent light bulbs and smash it over each other, and they cut each other and, staple their tongues, or they'll use a pizza cutter on their face. Like it's very gruesome. It's not for the faint of heart to even watch this stuff. And he decides he's going to do that match with that guy. And he does. In what is like, in these matches, it's usually very small settings. There's probably like 1,000 people that attend. And he gets in that match, and he ultimately gets all bloodied up. And
bad stuff.
Nick Gage ends up taking, I guess, a broken piece of glass and cuts David Arquette's throat with this piece of glass, to where David Arquette, he's like, dude, I'm bleeding out. I'm about to die. And finally gives up, because what happens with this Nick Gage guy, like if you don't work with him and go with the script, or if you hit him a little too hard or something, he'll just go off script and start really fighting you and really trying to hurt you. He's very, like, he's a little cuckoo.
He's absolutely crazy. I've seen, actually, you and I have watched some of his videos.
Yeah, David Arquette gets cut open, and he finally just rolls over and lets Nick Gage pin him, and gets to the hospital, and his life is saved. But anyway, that's the story, and it's wild, dude. It is absolutely wild. And for wrestling fans, I mean, some wrestling fans are like, these death matches are completely disgusting and inappropriate and all this kind of stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of fascinated by them. I watch them. There's a league, a wrestling organization called GCW, which does a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, they'll pull out weed eaters and start hitting a weed eater that's cranked, and start hitting them with it.
I mean,
I mean, some wild stuff. I get it in my feed all the time. I get reels from that stuff all the time.
I mean, that's crazy. They obviously don't think about the future at all.
No.
What are they going to be like in 20 years?
Oh, God. Imagine them being Space Grandpa and telling those war stories of wrestling back in the day.
Yeah, like, Grandpa, is that why you don't have your left leg? It sure is, son.
Okay, let me send you this, and then I'm going to move on, because I'm still waiting on information on this this Pentagon deal. But just take a gander at this TikTok I just sent you. Okay, this was a recent match just from a few days ago. It was Nino Extremo versus Nino Extremo versus Lil Sicko in a GCW tournament. It's called the GCW Tournament of Survival 11. This is from the 6th.
All right. Let's see.
So it was like 4 or 5 days ago. And it's just some of the highlights from that match.
Oh, dang. Oh, there's the clown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, that's regular stuff there. That's cool. And they do all that spinning around. Oh, a door. Oh. 4x4. Oh. Oh.
Describe what you're seeing.
They're flipping all over the place. They're hitting each other with 4x4s. Okay, they're jumping up. Now the clown. All right, they're both on the high rope. Oh, and they hit, and there's a chair right there. Guy hit his head on the chair. Oh, my gosh, and he jumped on some. Oh, he just jumped on a ladder. Oh, they threw him on some fluorescent bulbs. Oh, oh, my gosh, they're bleeding all over the place. They are on scaffolding, and they just did a flip onto more fluorescent bulbs. Oh, dang. Oh, nails in the back. What the heck? Oh, he hit him with a big door. There it is. There it is. There it is. Oh, my gosh, it's a weed eater. Oh, he weeded it down. Oh, man, just busted a table. And that's all she wrote, man. Took her down. Dang.
All right, enough of that. That's pretty wild. Hey, Dave's in Trustville. Dave, what's up?
Yeah, hey now.
Hey now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about another fight, the political fight. This thing with the the congressman and Hudson, and the congressman Hudson has said that the congressman claims that he's a combat veteran. I wanted to clarify a little something because I spent 4 years in the Army and I joined during the Vietnam War during the draft. And I am very, very cautious about the way I phrase anything that says that might entertain the idea that I might be a combat veteran, because I did not go into a combat theater. I did a lot of stuff stateside, but and being a medic and all that kind of stuff, but never went in there because that is a coveted prize badge that you get when you're in combat. It's the CIB Combat Infantry Badge. It's the one that's got the rifle in it. It's got the oval-shaped blue on it, and they wear that proudly. And they're very cautious or very covetous of that badge and what they did, and rightfully so. And so what Moore said was that he wore his combat boots proudly. Well, that's an indication he's been in combat. And it may, you may just think, well, he's talking about wearing a pair of combat boots, which we all did. And I got horror stories about that too. But anyway, he has no argument. I wouldn't vote for one of the sitting congressional delegates anyway because of the garbage that they've passed, and they don't even know what they've passed. I'll give you a lot of examples, but you can go back to the 14th and 13th and 14th Amendment. They should have abolished that 10 years after the Civil War. We didn't need it anymore. Now what are they doing with it? They're using it as a political ploy against, just to cheat. So, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, 30 years ago, the Congress passed GATT, which gave favored trade status to the Chinese. And the media's blown that up, saying that they stole everything. Hell no, the damn Congress gave them everything. So, we've got to get our hands on this Congress and make them understand what's going on here. It's we the people, not we the Congress, and not we the bureaucrats. And to change subjects, I watched Lynn Rossi and Tojo Yamamoto fight back in I think it was the early 70s, and they had set the crowd up with a little old lady with a straw hat and she was posing she was posing to be Lynn Rossi's mother, and she had a cane and she was threatening the other fighter. Well, finally, Lynn Rossi, the other fighter, Tojo, jumps down there and slaps the mother. Well, Lynn Rossi went berserk. He grabbed a chair and chased the other one into the hallway. We were down at the Boutwell. And, man, the crowd went crazy. I had never been to one live before. I've seen them plenty on TV. And people were standing on their chairs, just raising all kinds of hell.
That's funny.
It's quite an act. Yes, sir.
That's good stuff.
Anyway, thank you guys for being there.
All right, Dave.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, buddy.
Man, I love Tojo. He's the father.
My dad tells me stories about going to the Boutwell back in the day to see wrestling matches, which goes back to the Von Erich movie that you got to watch, The Iron Claw. I think it's Iron Claw.
Yeah, I got it on my watch list.
Jamie, real quick, what's up?
Oh, yes, sir. I just want to change the subject real quick. I was in the military, and I got a combat action badge tattooed on my forearm right here. I got badges all over me. But anyway, it's none of that. But I've been thinking about unionizing the Sherpas. And I don't think anybody's behind me on this, but I'm getting turned down at every level. And I've tried and tried. But I want to unionize the Sherpas on Mount Everest. I think this would be a great thing.
Yes, it would be. I'm with you.
Unionize the Sherpas.
I'm with you 100%, man. They give it all.
There you go. Let's get behind this. Let's unionize the Sherpas.
You and me, buddy. You and me.
I'm in a wheelchair. I can't get up there, but I've been thinking about this a long time, and we got to go to China. We got to go to Nepal. Let's unionize the damn Sherpas.
You know what? You can go and stay at base camp. Let's go and stay at base camp, and we'll entertain the troops.
Let's do it, brother. I'm right there with you. I'll pay for all of it. Let's do it.
There you go.
All right, I got your number. Look out.
John Bird's on board.
Thank you, brother. You called me. I want to do it.
All right, Jamie.
Dang right.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Bye.
Oh, that's good.
He's right, because the Sherpas, they're the only reason that those climbers make it to the top of Mount Everest, and so many Sherpas have died, and they're not paid squat.
Yeah.
Free the Sherpas.
Free the Sherpas. All right, let me. I know I'm up against the clock, but I'm just going to grab this real quick because I got to get more info on the Pentagon deal. Richard the Cop, real quick, what's up?
Several weeks ago, I went to junior high school up in Walker County. They had a local wrestling event called Monday Night Madness 7.
Mm.
Tommy Dreamer was there.
Oh, nice.
Old school Mike Jackson was there at 76 years old. And my son was the commentator.
Nice.
Oh, dang.
That's cool.
I sent you and Bird a couple of the clips on Instagram of him doing that. I'm telling you, he was yelling and screaming like he was in the crowd because, I've taken him to wrestling since he's 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Bow at one point. We used to go out to the Shrine Temple in Arndale back in the Russell Birmingham days. And so I was proud that he got to do that. But, yeah, I just forwarded y'all a link for 2 of those clips he's been putting out.
Sweet.
Roger that. We'll check that out, man. That's good stuff.
Roll Tide, boys.
All right, there's Richard the Cop. All right, let's hit this break. Come back on the other side. Still searching for info about the Pentagon, so I'll give that to you as soon as I get it. And we will let's see. Yeah, I'll give you what I got when we get back on the other side. 205-545-9950. It's the Line Talk 995. Who is this?
You don't know this group? Her Last Sight, man. One of my favorite groups.
Oh, these are the guys that did the Davey Called Me a Cowboy or whatever it was.
Oh, Danny Called Me a
Danny
Cowboy
Called Me a
King.
Cowboy. Yeah. And then they do another one that's a remix of a Skrillex song.
Ooh. Man, I'll look at the video. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
They're line dancing and everything. It's pretty funny.
Good stuff. All right, so there's not a lot of information coming out of the Pentagon when it comes to what's going on. The Arlington Fire and EMS put out, it says ACFD units, including our hazardous materials team, are currently operating at the Pentagon in support of PFPA's hazmat team during a hazardous materials incident. Now there's reports that it was due to a false alarm, apparently. So what they have in the Pentagon, they have these very sophisticated systems that is able to detect any sort of abnormality in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not supposed to be there. Anything that's not normal, air quality wise, it will pick up on, and it will immediately notify the appropriate people, probably including the fire department and hazmat crews and everything else. And so something happened with that system to trigger it and trigger an all hands on deck deal to where they started their protocol. Now, we wondered if it was something about mail, and I got to imagine that when it comes to mail coming in, I don't think you can just mail stuff to the Pentagon, but anything coming into the Pentagon has got to be vetted and gone through, and it would be bizarre to think that something got in there under the radar and was able to, hurt people or whatever. But you can't just bring stuff in there. So now there are visitors to the Pentagon, obviously. I think they even do some tours, but even those people are highly vetted. So none of it didn't make a lot of sense as to how some sort of hazardous material could get in there. If the report is true, and that report about a false alarm is actually coming from CNN, so take that for what it's worth. But that's the first we're hearing about it. And hopefully that's the case, but we'll see. Hour number 2 coming up next.